Welcome back. In this new video, I'm going to be sharing a short story, but this is the story of an extraordinary woman, Anna Dunham. Is the unsung hero who transformed the word development and empowerment. And this is the story I want to share with you. Anna Dunham is a name that most people recognize, but not in the way she deserves. To many, she is simply known as Barack Obama's mother. But Anna Dunham was far more than that. She was a trailblazer, a pioneering anthropologist, and a global advocate for economic empowerment. Her work in the field of anthropology and microfinance has had a profound and lasting impact, changing the way we think about poverty, development, and the empowerment of marginalized people, especially women. She was born in 1942 in Kansas, United States. Anna Dunham's life was one of a constant challenge and transformation. From a young age, she exhibited an intellectual curiosity and a rebellious spirit that led her to question the world around her. Her teenage years in the 50s were marked by an early fascination with existentialism, reading philosophers like Sartre, and challenging the traditional expectation of women in a conservative society. She didn't simply accept the world she was handed. She was determined to understand it, break it down, and rebuild it with a sense of fairness and equity. A journey took an unexpected turn when she met Barack Obama Sr. while attending the University of Hawaii. Their relationship, though brief, changed the course of her life. In 1961, she gave birth to a son, Barack Hussein Obama II. However, the marriage to Obama Sr. did not last. Anne became a single mother at the age of 20, an age when most women in her time might have felt constrained by social expectations, but Anna was deterred. She refused to let circumstance define her future. Rather than giving up on her education, on her dreams, Anna continued to pursue both. She worked as a waitress to support herself and a young son, never losing sight of her large ambitions, a determination to rise above her circumstances and create a better life for her son, could serve as a model for mother for much of her work in later years. A new world, Ann Dunham's move to Indonesia. In 1967, Anna made a pivotal decision that would shape both her life and her son's future. She moved with Barack to Jakarta, Indonesia, where her husband Lolo Soetoro had relocated for his graduate studies. Indonesia in the 1960s was a country still recovering from political upheaval and widespread poverty. For most Americans, Indonesia in the 1960s seemed like distant, unfamiliar land, a world far removed from the comforts of Western life. But for Anne, it was an opportunity to expand her horizons both intellectually and professionally. In Indonesia, Anne observed firsthand the lives of rural artisans and craftspeople who, despite their immense skills, were often trapped in poverty. She recognized that their poverty was not a result of laziness or lack of ability, but rather a result of lack of access to capital markets and resources. This realization would become the foundation of her work, shaping a view of development and poverty. Ann's time in Indonesia gave her an invaluable opportunity to immerse herself in local culture and learn about the lives of the people she was studying. She did not see them as a backward or in need of a Western civilization, as many Western anthropologists of the time did. Instead, she saw the ingenuity and resilience of a local population, and she focused on how their traditional knowledge and craftsmanship could be used to improve their lives. Anna's research into lives of rural Indonesia, blacksmiths, weavers, and other artisans was groundbreaking. She explored the complex system of a production that existed in these villages and how local communities managed their resources. In her doctoral dissertation, she argued that poverty faced by these artisans was not a result of their culture or lack of ambitions, but because they lacked access to economic tools and markets that could help them thrive. Her work challenged the prevailing Western narrative, which often blamed the poor for their own poverty, seeing them as lazy or ignorant. Instead, Anna showed that these artisans were sophisticated business operators who understood markets, managed complex production systems, and supported extended family networks. A research grounded in field work and respect for local knowledge became a crucial resource for understanding poverty and development in a new way. Anna Duham's contribution to microfinance. Anna's work in Indonesia extended beyond the research into the realm of practical action. She began working with the local microfinance finance organization, helping to develop programs that provide small loans to rural women, often as little as $50 or $100, to help them expand their business, buy materials, and improve their livelihoods. The small loans, often seen as inconsequential by traditional banks, were transformative for the women who received them. They allowed them to build economic independence and escape the cycle of poverty. Her involvement with microfinance organizations such as Bank Rakyat Indonesia and the United States Agency of International Development helped lay the groundwork for a global movement. The principle that Anna championed, listening to local communities, respecting their culture, and design programs that worked with existing structures, made this microfinance initiative far more successful than the top-down development models typically favored by Western organizations. Anna's work proved that when people are given the right resources and opportunities, they can achieve remarkable things. A mother's legacy. Anna Dunham's work wasn't just academic, it was deeply personal. She worked tirelessly to ensure that her son Barack Obama had the best possible education and opportunities in life. Despite the challenges of raising a child as a single mother in a foreign country, Anna never lost sight of her goal to give Barack a better future than one she had known. She sent him to Hawaii to live with her parents so he could attend a better school and receive the education she valued so deeply. Barack has spoken often of his mother's influence on his life and values. A credit He credits her with shaping his worldview, particularly his belief in equality, dignity, and the need to fight for systemic change. Anne taught him that poverty isn't a personal failing, but a result of systemic inequalities, and that the only way to create a lasting change is to understand people, their culture, and their needs. A revolutionary approach to poverty and development. Anna Dunham's approach to development and poverty was revolutionary. She didn't buy into the conventional wisdom of their time that blamed the poor for their own plight. Instead, she saw poverty as a result of a systemic inequality and a lack of access to resources. She worked tirelessly to create programs that empower marginalized communities, particularly women, and helped them build economic independence. Her work in Indonesia and later with microfinance organizations challenged the Western narrative of development and showed that when given the proper resources and support, poor community can thrive. Anna's approach was grounded in respect for local culture, understanding local knowledge, and design solutions that worked within existing community structure. She believed that real change comes from working with the people and not imposing solutions on them. A legacy is not only the research papers she wrote or the microfinance programs she helped develop, but in the millions of lives she impacted through her work. Her approach to development has inspired a generation of policymakers, economists, and activists, and their vision continues to shape the way we think about poverty and empowerment today. Remembering Anna Dunham. Dunham was a woman ahead of her time. She saw the world differently, questioning the assumptions of a era and challenging the system that perpetuated inequality. A work in anthropology and microfinance has had a lasting impact on the world, shaping how we understand poverty, development, and economic empowerment. Though she passed away in 1995, Anna's legacy continued to inspire and inform the work of those fighting for a more equitable world. A contribution to microfinance, a groundbreaking research, and their unwavering commitment to human dignity have left an indelible um, mark on the global movement for social and economic justice. And this is the extraordinary story that I want to share with you. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.